Henry, co-founder of both sides of the conversation.
My name is Kosla Crockett, concierge, and I'll be proctoring tonight's call for you. So tonight we have Adija Raintree, born in Los Angeles, California, who is a multi-talented entrepreneur specializing in credit restoration and financial education. Mother of two, Adija finds inspiration through being a role model for her children with the goal of creating generational wealth that will last lifetimes. Although life hasn't always been kind to Raintree, at the age of 19, she lost her mother to cancer. With her father incarcerated since birth, she was left to experience both the world's wonders and its terrors alone. To say that Adija's given circumstances weren't conducive to success will be an understatement. However, through her determination, self-education, and courage, she was able to overcome her environment and begin providing guidance to those in need. Now at 32, Adija is the owner and CEO of AR Financial Solutions, offering first-class financial education and credit restoration techniques to those who, much like herself, were not given the tools to properly budget and maintain top-of-the-line credit. Still committed to her goal, Raintree is well on her way to creating generational wealth for her children and establishing herself as a mainstay and inspiration in the financial education and credit restoration industry. Adija's title is Sales Director, and you should all know that later on, we may be joined by her Executive Sales Director, Zarina Garcia. Welcome, Adija, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about financial education. So I do have a presentation. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second here. So make sure you guys can see my screen. Hold on. Okie dokie. Okay. Where did my presentation go? There it is. Awesome. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys about United Credit Education Services. So let me tell you a little bit how I got started with this company. It was a couple of months ago. I was struggling with my credit and I just always had issues with it and I just couldn't figure out how to balance positives and the negatives. And my friend introduced me to a company that could help me increase my credit score, and also teach me how to utilize it so that way I can get the things that I want, like purchasing a house. So I have a goal next year. I want to buy a house. And so I joined the company and started utilizing the services. And within about, I would say like 2 to 3 months, I had a significant score increase. My score went from 597 to 658. So it was a phenomenal experience. And ever since then, I just decided that I wanted to share this information with as many people as possible because it really helped me and I really like helping people. So without further ado, let me make this bigger here. So United Credit Education Services. So this is a company you can rely on. It was founded in 2004, headquarters in Farmington Hills, Michigan. They offer a unique collection of services carefully selected to provide financial protection and opportunity. It's also a completely debt-free company that has helped thousands of people. And they have the same key executives since the inception of the company. So why is this more important than ever? So the single biggest difference between financial success and financial failure is how well you manage your money, right? So it's easy to master money, but you've got to learn how to manage it. So we're not all taught financial literacy in school. Obviously, economics is not enough. And depending on, your upbringing, you may have heard about it a couple of times in a positive way or in a negative way. And so let me tell you some 5 really shocking facts about that you didn't know about your finances. So Americans are drowning in a total of 1.057 trillion in credit card debt as of March 2019. So that means we don't know how to use our credit cards the right way. And there's also 56% of people in the United States that don't have a rainy day fund. So they don't have like an emergency savings or anything to safeguard them if they were to lose their job or have, something happen to them. 46% of baby boomers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. So that means that they're gonna have to work a little bit longer before they can retire. There is 40% of millennials have spent money they didn't have to keep up, so they can keep up with the Joneses. So, buying Jordans and flashy, designer clothes and things like that, and just not utilizing your finances the right way. There's also 43 million Americans with a credit score that is 599 or less. And that's not good. I used to be one of those people. So with poor credit, you can definitely feel all different ways. I know I felt anxiety, embarrassment, frustration, fear, and confusion because it was so frustrating. Sometimes I didn't even want to look at my credit, right? So for a long time, I didn't even know what my score was. So it's not really anything to be ashamed of though, because it happens to great people where, it's not your fault and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So in contrast, having strong credit score, it will leave you feeling confident, excited, and abundant, right? Because you'll have more access to the things that you want. Like you can apply for that store credit card and you won't be in fear of getting denied. You can go to the car dealership and get a car that has a lower interest rate and things like that. Ultimately, good credit scores open up, more possibilities to create the life that you desire, right? So you'll be able to travel and more time freedom and things like that. So good credit makes it easier to get new houses, new cars, low interest rates, higher limits, contracts without security deposit. So you'll be able to go and move into a new apartment without a ridiculously high security deposit, because that isn't normal. We think that paying a really high security deposit is normal, and it really isn't. If your credit score was really good, you wouldn't have to pay a security deposit at all in some cases. So let's see here. Okay, so we are at UCES, we are committed to helping individuals and families build, organize, and protect their financial future. So what does that mean? It means that we have 12 life-changing products along with our award-winning protection plan that will help you along your journey in financial literacy and getting to a better place. And these are the 12 products here, and I will go over them on the next couple of slides. So we want to help you build your financial future, and we start with the credit restoration process. The credit education services can assist you in challenging the credit bureaus to remove inaccurate and obsolete, erroneous items from your credit report, restore your score, and maximize your financial opportunities. We also offer the Credit Builder, where you can access your credit report in an easy to understand online form and utilize our extensive financial library and resource center to assist you in increasing your financial potential. We also offer credit monitoring, where you will be able to monitor your credit report. There's a money manager and financial account alert system, and all of your online accounts in one organized place with transaction and credit monitoring alerts sent straight to your phone. So, and we also have the credit attorney. So our credit attorneys will evaluate your case for difficult to remove items or inaccurate items, on your credit report. If legitimate, they will sue the agency to clean up your report, in which case you may be entitled to compensation. Okay, and so how is your score calculated? So there are 5 factors that make up your credit score, and that starts with payment history. Payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. So on-time payments in the last 24 months. So if you are late on anything, that will have a high impact on your credit score. And the next one is capacity and amount owed. So that means like your available credit. So let's say you have multiple credit cards and they total about $2,000. There's a certain amount that of that total amount that you'll be able to use, so that way you'll stay within this 30% threshold. That means that you understand how to use your credit. And then there's 15%, which is your length of credit. So how long these accounts have been open. Usually the longer they're open, the better, because then you have more history, which is kind of like your report card. It shows how well you've managed money over this long period of time. Then we also have 10%, which is new credit inquiries, the number of inquiries and new accounts opened in the last 12 to 18 months. And typically it starts to hurt your credit if there's more than 3 inquiries on your credit report. So you want to try and stay within the 1 to 3 and really decide whether or not that's something you want to apply for, especially if there's a hard inquiry on your credit. And lastly, there are the types of credit. So that makes up about 10% of your credit score, and that is a mixture of installment loans and revolving. So revolving would be like a credit card, and installment loan would be like your mortgage payment. So we'll also help you organize your financial future. We offer a budgeting tool to help you track your income and spending by creating a personalized budget. You'll use your budgeting report to follow your progress each month and make the necessary changes to come under budget, giving you more money to enjoy, to save, or to pay off your debts. It's really important to know where your money is going and how much is coming in, right? And we'll also help you calculate your net worth. So you'll discover your net worth by figuring out your assets and your liabilities, using our quick, simple calculations to see where you stand. Your net worth report will help you continue to build your net worth by tracking your progress as often as you'd like. We also have the YFL Family Mint, which has been implemented in schools across America. You can now bring the Family Mint online educational portal into your home to enhance financial knowledge among the children in your life. And we also offer the debt payoff. So we help you create a financial plan that will give you the exact payment guide to eliminate your debt quicker than you expected and save you from unnecessary interest payments. We will also help you protect your financial future by offering you identity monitoring, which is called Info Armor, leads the identity protection industry with Privacy Armor, a proactive monitoring service that alerts you at the first sign of fraud and fully restores your identity. You get up to about $1 million of insurance for identity theft. We also offer the will and trust, so you can protect your loved ones by preparing the same will and trust documents you would in an attorney's office, but from the comfort of your own home. And you can, as long as you maintain your membership, changes can be made anytime, cost-free. We also offer a digital financial lockbox. So you'll roadmap your financial contacts and information in one central online location that can be accessed at any time. So if anything was to happen to your important documents, such as your social security, your ID, those things can all be stored in this financial lockbox for you to access at any time while you're waiting on replacements. We also have a savings goal. You can set goals, and so setting savings goals is the best way to reach them. So we offer you a savings goal system, and it'll allow you to create multiple different savings goals, and you can decide when you need to achieve those goals and how often you need to save. So we also offer a Shop for Less program. It is included with the protection plan. Shop for Less basically gives you 5.4%, or it's like an average. So it depends, it varies on which store you shop at, but there's all kinds of name brand, department stores like Home Depot, Whole Foods, Adidas, Petco, just to name a few. So you shop through here to get cash back, which will also help you save money. And, you could use the money that you saved somewhere else. So our UCS protection plan, this would be the roadmap that you would follow if you were to sign up for services. So in month 1, you would basically be getting started with your services. So you would want to activate 3 services, which is the credit restoration. So you can watch for your dispute letters and follow the enclosed directions to improve your credit score. You'll begin with Smart Credit, so that will let you monitor your credit score and any changes in activity. You'll get alerts from that. And then lastly, you will set up Privacy Armor, which is the identity theft monitoring, so you can know that your personal information is being protected. In months 2 and 3, we'll show you how to build your score so you can apply for a secured credit card to add a positive trade line to your credit report. You can also report your rent payments to the credit bureaus by enrolling in our Credit by Rent program. And there's also, we also want you to utilize the Credit Builder tool to provide you with information on how your credit score is calculated and tips on improving your results. In months 4 to 6, we'll work on any outstanding debt. So you'll want to pay off your debt faster with our improved debt payoff system. You'll track your income and your spending by setting up our monthly budgeting program. And in months 7 to 9, you'll establish your family security. So that would be creating your will, trust, and medical financial POA to protect your family's assets. You'll protect and secure your financial documents in our financial lockbox. And you'll also develop your savings goals and plan for future expenses, such as like vacations and things like that. And in the months 10 to 12, you'll stay on top of your finances. So if you've been experiencing any debt harassment or need legal help with credit reporting errors, you will contact our credit attorneys to assist you. Calculate your net worth and manage your family's assets and liabilities. And then you can also enroll your children into the YFL Family Mint Financial Literacy Program. So you can keep track of everything through your back office dashboard on the computer, or you can download an app. The reason why we have it set up this way is because we want to be completely transparent with you throughout your financial, journey. So that way you have access to everything, all of the products in one place, and you can track your progress. So if you want to take control of your financial future today, there is a one-time setup fee of $188. That includes your first month. There is an $89 monthly subscription fee, but there's no contract, and you can also cancel at any time. And after you pay this, you get access to all of the 12 products that I just discussed in the previous slides. And usually we would like to recommend that you stay in the program for at least 4 to 6 months to get the most out of it. And then we also have a customer referral program. It gives you the opportunity to get your protection plan for free. So you recommend potential new customers to the person that enrolls you, which in my case would be me. If 5 of your referrals enroll, you may get your next month's services for free. And so with every protection plan membership, we give back. So our youth financial literacy program provides lessons to schools across the United States. It educates students in the 5th to the 9th grade on matters of personal finance. So $2 from each monthly protection program go Protection Plan payment, goes to programs and scholarships for our youth. And over the last 4 years, we've donated over $1 million in scholarships through our YFL scholarship program. And I think this is really amazing because I have kids, and since I didn't learn financial literacy in school, I feel like it's great that I can give back and help the kids for the next generations to come. So here's what our customers are saying about this product. We have Debbie in South Carolina. She says, "Thank you for the excellent service you provide over and over again to customers. I feel so glad and proud to be a part of this company. Your customer service is superb and consistent. Keep up the good work." We have Jared in New Jersey. "This credit restoration program is doing great things for us. Thank you. We went up over 150 points within 6 months. I've been telling all my family and friends about this program because it truly works." So take control of your financial future today. It's literally less than $3 a day. And I think that's all I have for you guys today. So let me stop sharing my screen and let me see here. If you guys have any questions, I did put my information in the chat box. I can drop it one more time just so you guys can see it. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you too. Can you also just verbally tell people that's out there watching, because we live on Facebook?
Yeah.
Can you give out your website and all information?
Yeah, so my website is arfinancialsolutions.net. You can also find me on Facebook under Adija Rain. That's DIJARAIN. And you can also email me at Adija at arfinancialsolutions.net. You can text me. My phone number is area code 323-903-7046. Just text me credit, and then we can have a phone conversation if you have any questions about the information that I just talked about.
All right. At this point right now, if anybody have any questions or anybody can put any questions in the chat, we'll be looking on our Facebook to see if we have any questions out there. And then Rico, did you have any questions? Kosla, anybody have any questions? I actually have a question, but I'll wait to see if anybody else has anything.
Okay.
I don't have a question. I think it was pretty self-explanatory to me.
Awesome.
So I have a question. Okay.
No. Go ahead.
For a person that maybe like right now, I understand we're in challenging times, and you know, people are struggling with the unemployment being so high. If a person had to file bankruptcy or had to go through a real financial hardship, how long will it take for them to recover if they went through this process to actually be able to get back to a point where they can do lending again?
I would say 6 months. It also depends on what chapter they filed, because I know there's chapter 7 and chapter 13, but I would say at least 6 months to start getting some type of relief, and maybe maximum 12 months to fully be recovered and able to get back out there and, you know, do the credit thing again.
So would you recommend people to, as they starting to rebuild their credit, would you recommend people starting off with a secured credit card?
Yes, I do. I highly recommend starting with the secured credit card, preferably if you can find one that doesn't have an annual fee. I know most of them have annual fees. Try and find the lowest one that you can, but that's like the best way to start building some positive credit. And then obviously you want to put as much on there as you can. I would say at least like $500, so that way you know, you have a large amount to work with as far as utilization goes. I can't hear you anymore. You muted.
One other question I have. I heard you mention about having an emergency rainy day fund. What would you recommend amount or a time length? Like, what would that emergency fund look like?
Oh, well, it's different for different people. Yeah, I mean, you could start with $1,000, which is, that would cover like basic expenses. Like if your car broke down, you'd have that saved up. But typically you want to have at least 6 months worth of expenses saved. So that way, if something like a pandemic happens, you have like 6 months of finances, money saved to help keep you afloat until you can figure something else out.
Good, helpful information for people. I don't see any questions in the chat. Let me see on Facebook. I don't see any.
Oh, there's a
Okay,
question.
there's a question. All right. Yeah, I'm looking in the group chat. I don't see the question in the group chat.
Yeah, I don't see a question either.
Let me look and see where that question is coming from.
Adija, were there any strategies that you utilized along your credit repair journey that were really practical and helpful for you? Like,
Yeah, the first thing I took advantage of was the secured credit card because, like I mentioned, all I had was pretty much negative stuff. I couldn't even get approved for a credit card, and I wasn't sure how the secured cards worked. When I signed up for the services, we offer a secured credit card, and that's the first thing that I got, and that gave my score a huge boost. I'm also going to participate in the Credit My Rent because I've been a renter for 3 years, and they go back at least 2 years, and they'll report that to your credit. So that way that'll give me another boost.
Yeah,
so
I
were
don't
there,
see I see comments, but I don't see the question. Maybe we could get them to reach out to you, or I can probably help them with the question if it's something I see. I don't see it on our group.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, I'm tagged in it. I'll drop a comment underneath the live video letting them know that I'm there so they can ask me questions. I'll open for any questions.
thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
All right. Well, since we don't have any more questions, thank you for your time. We'll have people you can reach out to in the chats. We'll see if there's any other follow-up questions. I'll definitely direct them in the proper direction. We thank you for giving up
Definitely.
your we thank you for giving up your time coming out and trying to help educate our people. I mean, that's what it's really all about. We're trying to just give information back to the community. We're trying to make sure that we just help our people get these little tools because I understand when I was coming up, we didn't really get all of the financial information. It was just like
Right.
pay the bills and whatever left is yours. But we really didn't go into the in-depth conversation of financial literacy and understanding how credit works, how investing works, how to save, and how to properly use our money intentionally. So thank
Right.
you again for coming out and supporting the community. And definitely we'll get all the information out to the people. Hold on, somebody's saying something in the chat.
Oh, it says, how does this work towards removing student loans from your credit, even when they're paid off? Okay, so if they're paid off, it depends how it's reported. If it says paid off in full, you can dispute it and get it removed from your credit report. Typically, if it's paid off like a charge off or like bad debt, that can also be removed. Okay, so that's the name of the person that asked. Okay, yeah. So when they're paid off, they can be disputed and removed.
Now, I know one thing you talked about having the lawyers. I know that's really a good thing because some of the creditors are really, really difficult to get a hold of. Yeah, they harass you. It's very hard to get some stuff off your report. So I
Yeah.
know when you talked about the having the lawyers to go out and go after them to get those negative reports off is definitely an important investment to have. I remember talking to a couple of people that they had struggles, like they end up working out a agreement
Okay.
with the company, paid it off, and they still like left it on uh, the
Yeah.
person's credit report. So
Typically when you like if you dispute charge-offs yourself, I highly recommend doing the old-fashioned type up a letter, sign it with a pen, and mail it off to them, certified mail, so that way you can keep track of the timing. This also will keep all of your rights, because so the main thing that we leverage here is the Fair Credit Reporting Act that was passed in 1971. And it basically gives everyone the right to dispute all erroneous, obsolete, inaccurate information that may be on your credit report. So when you do it through places like Credit Karma or Credit Sesame, they make it really easy to just click a button and dispute it. You kind of waive a lot of your rights in that Fair Credit Reporting Act. So I always highly suggest like just writing them a letter and sending it to them and having all the communication being on paper. So that way, let's say you do negotiate a payoff, you want them to first agree to give you a pay for to delete, because a lot of them are like, okay, yeah, you can pay it, and then you never talked about pay to delete, so it'll say paid in full, but it's still on your credit. And that's where a lot of us get kind of tripped up in that method. So I always recommend mailing it to them.
now, what about if a person like you that I talked about earlier, maybe going through a financial change? What are some of the loopholes that can help consumers? Like I know a lot of times people say if you're already like in a financial struggle where you're not able to pay your bills, and when it comes to those debts, isn't it like a time period where like the debts will like get negotiated at a lower rate? So if they already in that financial jam, like secure your personal needs, and then get through, and then over time those debts will actually they'll negotiate at a lower rate. Is that true?
I don't think so. I know we have the in California, we have the 7-year statute of limitations, right? And that basically says that they have 7 years to try and collect on this debt before they legally cannot do that anymore, right? So what will happen is if you wait until the 7 years, hoping that it will fall off, I've seen it happen a few times where it may go away, but somebody else will buy the debt and the clock will start over. So I don't recommend waiting. It's always good to keep communication with them, even if you don't have the money to pay them. Letting them know that you have plans or you want to reach out to them later to negotiate a lower payment option. That would definitely be something I recommend. Even if you don't have any money, they try to be understanding. I know some of them aren't very nice, but definitely stay in communication with them. And you can wait, maybe like a year or two, so that like after 2 years it's not negatively affecting your credit anymore. You can then negotiate a lower rate, but typically they buy it for pennies on the dollar anyways if it's in collection. So you kind of can leverage that and offer, say, this is what I have, you guys can either take it or leave it, and usually they take it.
Cool, cool. Well, I think from looking around, I don't see any more questions. So I think at this point, we're going to go ahead and end our live. And we thank you again for coming on tonight. You guys, please reach out if you have any further questions or any other information you want to give out. Reach out to her. She could definitely help you out.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it's an honor. I like helping people.